Well, good morning there, Soaring Eagle fans. He just been hibernating here in the home office for the last 2-3 days. It's been kind of cloudy and raining outside, so just been doing some office desk work, some accounting paperwork, selling some radios here and there. But watching it rain outside, and just sort of thought, well, it's about time to venture out. Some people said that there's been a lot of flooding in the area, so let's just go out and have a look and just see. Here we are. Probably about 3 days later. It's December 12th of 2025. So let's go out and have a look and just see if there's still some remnants of all that downpour. Notice that the local news, CBC Global, BCTV there, put out a bunch of stuff about some atmospheric river. Now, I don't know if there's really a river in the sky, but it's definitely a kind of alarming word that they use often. So let's go out and have a look and just see what our neighborhood's like. All right, let's go have a look and just see what, here's a group, 4-wheel drive association, just had a chat with them. But let's get a little bit of fuel here, get fueled up, and let's go out and have a look and see if there is this atmospheric river that's just absolutely horrid, like everybody's punching out on the news channel. Must be busy inside. It's taking a while to get a call. Hello, anybody there?
Just give me a moment, please. What can I get for you?
Get a medium coffee with 1 cream.
Medium with 1 cream, sure.
And a ham Swiss cheese sandwich.
Sorry?
A ham with Swiss cheese sandwich.
The grilled cheese sandwich.
Not grilled, no.
Huh?
All right, here we are at our Vedder River, one of the trailhead parking lots. See, it's closed here. It says trail closed, flooding and high winds. But yet there's lots of people on the trails out there. So let's go have a look and see what's going on here. Okay, so the river is definitely up a lot higher than it normally is. It's not at extreme danger levels. We'll still quite a long ways before it reaches this dike. But this dike got raised up a number of years ago. But anyway, there's a bit of a log pile jam up there, and then I also saw one further down the river. We'll walk a little closer. So we have some of the Vedder River water coming through on this channel, and this GoPro probably won't let me zoom in, but on the other side there's another channel up on the other side. So it's a long ways from aggressive flooding stage here, no doubt. Still have 15-20 feet of elevation here before it would breach this dike, that's for sure. So it's definitely not a catastrophic event like some people are claiming, but the river is definitely high. And it's probably also not very good for all the salmon eggs that were spawned here during the summer months, and lots of it's probably washing away from the gravel bars. And 4 years to come, when those fish would have gone out to sea and come back, there'll probably be a much poorer fishing season in about 4 years time than those fish that should have spawned in the riverbeds, but they're probably all being washed away off the gravel beds, as I said. So let's go have a look at some more water conditions. So over here we can see a little bit of a dam of logs and debris that's washed up here, much more so than just a week or two ago. It was fairly clear, a few trees here and there, but there's definitely a lot of downwash that would have come up from a lot further downstream. A lot of trees uprooted from the riverbanks coming down, and this whole line laying along here is just filled up. And what that does is it kind of redirects the river and washes out the gravel in different areas. So still relatively safe to be here, and far from flooding at this point in time. So maybe in the last few days it was a lot worse. But today it's definitely calmed down. So this down here is a side channel of the Vedder River that they don't want dogs and people meandering inside the waterway and the river side. So it's a little side channel creek almost of the Vedder River. And you still see some slowly dying and decaying salmon in here. And it's a natural spawning habitat for the wild salmon stock. And this was one of my concerns, that the river also elevated in here, but it looks relatively unharmed and damage free. So all the eggs that are laying in the side channel will be great. Wouldn't be washed away like they are in the main riverbed with all the gravel beds uprooted and washed downstream. And here we've got a couple of kilometers of this creek bed left completely undamaged, and should yield a good salmon stock in springtime and return in 4 years from now, as well as the hatcheries that's up the Vedder River that do a lot of stocking of. So I want to show you something. So right now the river's down probably 15 feet from where I'm standing on this dike, but right here is where a log that would have come up and got spun around and came right up the bank as logs were being washed down. And that's why they want you to stay off the dike here, because this kind of damage can kill people. Okay, it can do a lot more destruction than just ripping away at the bank, which is on top of the dike here, which would have happened when those logs over there were being washed down, and the force of the water was pushing some of those big logs to come right up on top of the dike. Now I'm going to find a picture of a flood that happened, I'm going to say about 8 or 10 years ago, where logs came up the river like that on the Vedder River higher up, and a log about 6-8 inches in diameter went right through an RV trailer sitting in a park side right alongside the river, and the log went right across the bed of the trailer at nighttime. And if the people would have been home, they would have got pierced by an 8-foot log that went in one side of the trailer and out the other side. And I have a picture in my file cabinet somewhere, and I'm going to post that online here to show you what those logs can do when that river comes way up, and how those trees get pushed up into the bank and can wreak a lot of havoc. Luckily, the people weren't home when this tree came up out of the riverbank and pierced right through their RV, about an 8-10 inch log, a good 20-30 feet long, and it penetrated the entire RV, went right across the top of the bed. Had the people been home, they would have not survived.
So this is where the Vedder River narrows a bit, and it has one channel to go through. So it's relatively deep in this spot, which is kind of deceptive right now with the depth that the water is here right now, because it's a narrow channel from side to side, just over top of this bridge area, whereas it does widen out into multiple channels as it gets further downstream. But that's why you'll see a lot of debris floating in the river. But it's definitely down from what it was yesterday. So let's take a drive up to the hatchery and see what the river condition is like further upstream.
Okay, let's head up the Vedder River a little ways and see what kind of damage the high water levels did yesterday. We're just over here at the Vedder River Bridge crossing that goes over to Yarrow and heads west. But we're just going to stay on the east side of the Vedder and head up towards Chilliwack Lake a little ways. We're definitely not going to go out all the way, that's for sure. But go see Tamahi Creek, the Tamahi Bridge area where we camped out earlier this summer. In some scenes that I looked at yesterday, there was definitely a lot of water there, and the campsite, the whole grounds had a lot of laying water. I don't think the Vedder rose that high because it's actually quite a high campsite, but there was a lot of water laying around. So let's just go have a look and see what we can find.
Here we are on the Vedder River, just a little bit further upriver from Chilliwack. It's getting pretty close to the bank here right now, but I'm sure it was probably up a little bit higher, even though you don't see a lot of damage with the leaves and trees and branches and the fire pit not moved over there. So I'm not sure if it's come up this high, but we do see that stump must have taken a bit of a beating from some debris going by. And it is definitely getting very close to the edge here and starting to erode a little bit more of this bank, which has been in years past and actually washed out parts of this road. So we do have a little bit of water running through here, but it's definitely gone down since yesterday. And it hasn't been raining for the better part of the day, even though it's cloudy and a little bit dreary. And over there on the other side, on the gravel bar, we're actually right in the middle there. See something that looks almost like a lantern. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Can't quite zoom in, make it out. But nonetheless, the water is coming up, or I should say probably receding, because it probably was up into this bank area here. It's going down a little bit. Probably still a snow melt of that snow that fell last week in the mountains, but it is quite warm out. But anyway, this is a portion of the Vedder River here, kind of rushing through. Definitely not a good fishing day, and hopefully not all the salmon and eggs that got laid in the gravel bar is going to be washed away.
So this area of the Vedder River is very close to the Vedder River crossing bridge that you see up there. It's definitely still a lot higher. Normally in the winter months there'd just be a trickle of a river, a trickle of a creek flowing through here. Nothing like this, full-blown water shed off the mountains. Now one of the reasons that we are getting a lot of this water. It's rained a lot for the last week or so, but the week prior was also quite cool, and it snowed a lot in the mountains. So with this warming up and the rain and the snow melt up in the mountains, those two conditions combined leads to this kind of water flow. So it's not static, it's not out of the world, it's not chaotic or anything. It's just a natural phenomena that does happen when these conditions are right for the event. Doesn't mean you have to start riding a bicycle to stop global warming, but just make some common sense. I've lived in this area for 37 years now and have seen this happen probably at least a half a dozen times, but 2 or 3 times where. All right, here we're coming up on Tamahi Creek Road. It looks like there's some water that is kind of across here where there's some culverts, some water moving across, but that's a little side channel of a creek running into the Vedder River. So let's just have a look and see what's going on just a little bit further up. We'll be hitting the Tamahi Bridge that crosses the Vedder River here shortly, and we'll stop and just observe what's going on here. Definitely looks like the water is roaring through a little bit. See the campsite on the other side. Still has about 8 feet to go before it breaches the campsite, but we'll stop and take a few shots in this area. All right, let's have a look here at the Vedder River kayak course site here on the day campgrounds. Looks like the water definitely has been up top here at some point in time with all this debris laying through here, but it didn't move the picnic tables away. But you can see the debris that got launched up top here when the river was higher yesterday, interesting enough. And now it's, you see the way down there, we're a good 10-15 feet down from up top here. So it's definitely gone down a lot, so there must have been a lot more water. This is also the narrow part of the river that raises through here, and that's why those crazy kayakers, they've moved their most of their kayak equipment up the other side on the cables and stuff. Don't want them washed away, no doubt. So let's just have a look at this water rushing through here. Definitely more water than I've seen down here when we were camping out here. About 5 or 6 times higher, and not sure if a kayaker would even want to be in this kind of water. However, I do know somebody that would probably love the challenge, and that's Timmy from Truckhouse Life, that would probably love this Vedder River challenge. So Timmy, next time you come through this area, do check out the Vedder River. There's a lot of kayakers that use this challenging course here, so check it out when you're roaming through this neck of the woods in Chilliwack here along the Vedder River. Might be a place that you'd like to go spend some time at and do a video on. So the Tamahi Creek campsite looks in pretty good shape. The caretaker still in his RV unit here, and somebody camping out for the winter months in the back there, never moved. There was a lot of water laying out here the last few days with the rain, but they're well above the Vedder River high water mark, so look safe and sound.
So if you need a place to camp and experience some outdoors adventure, it's a good place to start. Now my wife and I, we've camped out here a couple of times in this campsite right along the river here, and I don't see the caretaker here at the moment. I'm not even sure if besides that one lone camper across the way is in here or if he has to move, but nonetheless he's still here, and there's definitely a bit of a raging river still going through here, expressing its need to unload its potential. This campsite is a bustling place in the summertime. A little quiet right now, but I'm sure in springtime when the weather gets warmed up, it's going to be overloaded with campers. Just outside of Vancouver here, not too far, just 20 minutes out of Chilliwack. So thanks for watching this brief video on the update of the 2025 high water flooding, and certainly in Abbotsford they do have a lot more flooding in the flats there. The water's over the freeway and it's been shut down for a number of days, but just use some common sense and stay safe.